This is Stephanie or Starmy, as I have in my title. This is another review. This is my review on One Piece episode 735 and the last other two episodes as well, just to kind of go on about them. I just so everybody knows, I'm gonna do a review on the chapters. So I'm gonna do the review on the next chapter that comes out, just if anybody's interested in. But this is just my thoughts and everything about what I saw. I did at this point. I did actually read from the manga at this point, so I kind of already knew what happened. Um, but uh, yeah, talk about interesting. I guess the first thing is to go by this episode. So basically, the last episode, episode 700, and this is the anime I'm talking about, of course, naturally. 734 was kind of a letdown, naturally, because it was all just filler, and it was a disappointment. Considering for the last episode, um, episode 733 was actually surprisingly, it was okay. It was the finale of Luffy versus Dofi was actually really good. There were some bits here and there that weren't great, as everybody knows from watching it. Um, this the last, like I said, so that was great. The fight scene between him, the last fight scene was brilliant, and then of course the last episode, um, there was it was just a total drag. It was just basically everybody crying, and then they just did add loads of. It was just the townsfolk, and it was just everybody crying. There was just flashbacks. We didn't some flashbacks, like for instance, there was only like two. There was only one part of this that I really liked, which was the flashback in the beginning of the episode, where basically it just shows everything, but it wasn't that great. So it was kind of terrible. The reason why I'm saying this is because, because I knew it was so bad, and for like the longest time throughout the Dressrosa episode arc, I say, there was a lot of this. The pacing, like a lot of bad pacing here and there in some episodes, um, including like the finale episode. Um, the worst part about this episode was just Rebecca. Oh my god, like her crying and Luffy. That was a disaster. But anyway, so about this week's episode, the reason why I'm talking about it is because just like last episode, I was thinking to myself that this would just end up just like the last episode. It was just gonna be complete filler. They're just gonna show one or two scenes from the manga, but surprisingly, no, it wasn't. It was actually surprisingly really good. Um, I I mean good. I mean the fact that it was just like basically nearly one entire chapter. There was barely any filler. There was filler, but it was very little, if you know what I mean. Like for instance, they went straight into the whole bit. They showed just a few scenes from last episode, and they showed just people just a little bit of crying at the beginning, and then of course you see, then it goes straight to Sabo, him in his fight between Burgess, and he's there like, which I actually really liked. I just loved, because actually I'm a Sabo. I like Sabo as well. And it was just this kind of great to see, just straight in, like, I think what it was, he was just like happy to see that Luffy had finally defeated, Doflamingo, and then of course Bird just said like, "Why aren't you finishing me off?" Like, and of course he's like just doesn't have time for him, doesn't care. He has to leave because now that the Doflamingo was finished, the the government or CP9, whatever, CP0 I should say, would be coming, so they had to get off the island and stuff like that. But so there was a problem. Burgess started to basically annoy. He said brothers. He's like he's basically talking about Ace. He's like saying, "Oh, you brothers, huh? You want to know what Ace said before he died? They're basically teasing him about what happened when Ace was captured. By Blackbird, and I was just that was just also in the manga, and it was actually kind of like heart wrenching because it's like you were why weren't you there? Like why weren't you there to save your brother in the war 2 years ago? Like Saba, why like, and I was just it just kind of him just plucking it, and then of course you see Saba grabbing his face with his dragon claw, and he's just like you could see he's just angry, and he's just and the guy's just there like taunting him, and I'm like saying, dude, why are you taunting him? You know he could kick your ass. But I guess the whole point was he was gonna try, and you could see like he had the blade behind his back, and he was basically doing it so he could try and get kill him, but like that didn't work. But he says like he says that oh, the last thing your brother said was, "Don't tell my brother." And actually, funny enough, in the manga, it actually in this one he says, "Don't tell my brother," but in the manga it said, "Don't tell my brothers." So I thought that was kind of weird that they changed it. I think the whole reason to why it was in the manga I said he said brothers was because he might have found out that Saba was alive. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, yeah. So he basically that's what he said, and of course he got really pissed off. Saba got really pissed off, and of course this, and of course like he burned it basically. No, he Burgess tried to attack him first, and then he just went into the fire fist. It's just like all fire, yeah, and basically knocked Burgess's out, basically. So, basically, Koala and the others, the revolution guys like Haka and stuff were waiting for him, the ship area, and basically she rang him to say like come to us now, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll be there soon. He just hangs up, and she's just like, how could you, what that jerk, like she just gets annoyed. So the other half of that, which was really good, the part about Salvo and Birds was really great, and I like that. And then it went straight from that to about King Real. I am terrible with names, so please forgive me. And the citizens of Dressrosa want him to come back to being the king. And of course he's like, I don't think I should because like I messed up. But like I'm like saying, but you were the original king. You are the king of Dressrosa, regardless. I mean, you're the real royal family of this land, so like you really should just go back. I mean, what else do we want somebody else to take over? But anyway, so that's all good. So Sinister's trying to convince him into, and then of course you had the whole bit with Fujitora. Yeah, you also have I forgot. You also have the scenes where one of the Marines, I don't know his name. Basically, you got to see some of the neighboring islands of Desperoso, and they basically got this message, basically saying like Delphamingo was defeated and stuff like that, and just announcing what happened. And then of course, like I said, you had then Fujitora who comes in, and he's basically where King Ria, I'm terrible with the name. The king basically so basically comes up, and he basically goes in the pot. He's basically him and his group of Marines basically comes and basically says like sorry, basically gets on his head. He's like in the picture there have, and he's just like, this is all our fault. Please forgive us for our for allowing this to happen to your country. Basically apologizing for the government, which was a big deal. So yeah, so this was surprisingly an okay episode. I know, like we also got the promo for next episode. I'm looking forward to that because we're gonna see it's gonna be about Tiger and Dog, wasn't it? I think it was called the next episode. Basically, where it's about Aokiji and Fujitori, and they get into a fight and stuff like that. Well, not in a fight, but more like an argument fight about what happens and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm gonna do a review next week. I'm also gonna do a review on, like I said, I'm gonna develop those who read the manga. I'm gonna review on then this next chapter I'm going to also talk about the last few chapters. So anyway, yeah, thanks. That's it. Thanks. Bye.